Your Denver Broncos just got another huge advantage over the Cincinnati Bengals, but don't take my orange and blue word for it, because in this video, we go behind enemy lines and talk to one of the more plugged-in Cincinnati Bengals creators, Who Dey, who actually sat with Ja'Marr Chase's entire family in that Jacksonville Jaguars game. We talk about, have the Bengals given up after that absolute shellacking last week? Who's playing for their job and actually has a lot on the line in this game? How do they get that run game going? What advantages do they have over our offense? And what does the Bengals nation truly believe about Bo Nix? Let it breathe. The result we saw last week, just one of the most lopsided results you could see. Is that what you're expecting with Browning? What's your take on the rest of the season and the goals for Cincinnati?
I think the goals for most fans are to play at least 500, like go 7-7 with Browning. That would hypothetically give you right at a playoff shot. And we're hoping, optimistically speaking, that Burrow somehow comes back. That is the timetable that they gave us. So if he can get the 9 wins or whatever by December, then the Burrow conversation comes back. If he's not there, then the whole season's cooked, right? I thought if you watch the game, Browning does throw 70% in the game. I know it looks really bad on the scoreboard, but there was a really, really good play that Harrison Smith made early in the game. And then the kid Isaiah Rodgers played the greatest defensive game I've ever seen in my life. And I thought what Flores was doing pre-snap really, really, really messed Browning up. I thought, though, all of the turnovers, we were always on their side of the field on all 5 turnovers. But if you turn the ball over 5 times, you're going to lose. And I think that's the reason why they lost. Even when it was like 17-3 or something like that, the Bengals were like in the red zone about to score.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, totally.
So it's like all these different things that could go wrong. Like, I know it sounds crazy. If Burrow plays in that same game and you don't have turnovers, maybe they don't win. But I do think that like that game looks so different. Burrow's just so important for our team that he elevates the run game, like the threat of him throwing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have any of that now. So I think that little bit here and there expose like all the things that the Bengals don't do well at. Now that he's not there, they make them look terrible. Like the run game was bad with Burrow, but now it looks terrible. You know what I mean? So offensive line, I like them, but when the team knows that you're throwing on 2nd and long and 3rd and long and you got a backup quarterback, like, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. 0.3 yards per carry. Not going to get done. To me, that was evidence why Joe Burrow should have won the MVP last year, even though you didn't make the playoffs. Like, he is so good that it changes everything. What was the vibes, the post-game press conferences? Like, does it seem like the team has mailed it in, or do you think they'll actually fight?
I think they'll fight. I think the one thing, like from a national perspective, people are like, well, you guys should just trade Trey Hendrickson. You got to understand the Bengals from our standpoint, from the front office's standpoint, let's say you say that the Bengals are cheap. One thing a cheap person isn't going to do is waste money. So going out and go to get Noah Fant late, going out and go get Slayton from Green Bay up front, all of these different pieces, they were not cheap. Re-signing B.J. Hill, signing Ja'Marr Chase, signing T. Higgins. They're not about to pack anything up. And then you got guys that are playing for contracts like 1st and 2nd round picks. You got Dax Hill playing for a contract, 1st round pick. You got DJ Turner playing for a contract, 2nd round pick. You got Cam Taylor-Britt playing for a contract. You got Shamar Stewart trying to prove itself. You got Trey Hendrickson trying to go get there's no scenario where those guys are going to pack it up, because even if they're not on the Bengals next year, they got to show that they need to go get extensions and long-term commitments from somebody in this league. And then you got the coach that's fighting for his life now too. So it's like, it's too much money involved. Even if you don't feel as though it's effort, it's just too much money involved. Too many Noah Fants on this team that are trying to figure out ways to extend their career and get more money. And I do think that the Bengals won't get blown out like that for the rest of the season. I don't know how many games they're going to win, but I just think a 5 turnover game is just impossible. I just can't say it.
Crazy stuff. Like Ja'Marr Chase doesn't, like to have 3 fumbles like that. That's not going to happen. I could see Browning throwing multiple picks, hopefully even just this week. But yeah, man, like unreal. Yeah, it's a bummer because I was so pumped for this matchup because of what we saw last year. So what was your take on Bo Nix and this Broncos defense after watching that matchup last year in Cincinnati?
I had high hopes. I'm gonna tell you. I just was talking about this on a show. I really feel like I know it's super early. I really feel like I still respect the Broncos defense and I still respect what I think that they're about to do. But don't you feel like the Chargers are doing a lot of like I not even three, just the 3-0. I feel like Herbert now like is taking this spot. And I know I'm that's a rival of yours. So
Yeah,
this
I
might be
hate him,
crazy.
man. We hate him.
I know you do. I
Yeah.
know you do. I feel like Herbert this year is taking Joe Burrow's top 4 spot, right? If you say he's in the top 4, I'm a Bengals fan saying that. It, I just think it makes it. You're in a division with the Chiefs, right? And you got to deal with that guy too. He's 3-0. There's just not enough spots for everybody. I feel like everything that they said in the all season about the Broncos retaining all their people. Like, remember, me and you have the highest retention rate for our rosters in football, contrary to what people think. People say Bengals are cheap, and then, bro, we pay everybody. Nobody escapes the Bengals. If you're good, you don't escape the Bengals. Like, I don't know why people say that, but currently, right now, is like looking at the defensive numbers and everything like that, leading the league in sacks. I do believe that that pass rush is going to get home. I do think that they're going to make the Bengals look silly at times on Monday night. But if Bo Nix isn't taking the step that you need him to take, and currently like the way that he's playing, I just don't see it like long term, like playoff like wise or whatever. Like I know it's early in the season, like he's got plenty of things he could build off of, but that's how I look at it. Like I think that he'll have games like this where I think he'll look better. The Bengals defense has improved, but I think that we're going to give them ample opportunities. So I look at football from possessions. So there'll be some games you might have 8 possessions. And the really, really good quarterbacks, they make the most out of it. Then you'll have these games like you're going to have on Monday night. Bengals 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I'm going to dare Bo Nix to go score some points, right? And then I think he'll score. But I don't know how that will stack up against like some of these other teams like that are for real. Like the Bengals without Burrow are not for real. Like,
Totally, man. Well, that game against the Chargers, there are 4 plays that were at receivers' fingertips that would just totally change it. And everyone here is calling him the Bover thrower. And but Sean Payton is barely a 500 coach in the month of September. And then his record from October through the rest is one of the best in NFL history. So, he runs such complex things that it takes time to get going, but we haven't seen Bo pick up where he left off. And that has worried a lot of folks. And we're hoping it starts this week. So what defensively are you most confident about the Cincinnati Bengals defense?
I think our run stopping is gotten a lot better. I'm hoping Shamar Stewart plays this week. He was out last week. He's very disruptive. When he's out there, I thought like week 1, like if anybody watched that game, I know it's the Browns, but they couldn't
just beat the Packers, bro. Like they're not bad.
They're not bad, bro. Their defense is nasty. Like they made our offense look horrible. But I think if Shamar Stewart plays, I'm not worried as much about the run game as much as I have in the past. And I think our defensive front is a lot better. Like I said, we picked up Slayton from the Packers, who had the number 1 run stop rate in the NFL last year. So far, he's been playing okay. Okay. Then you got BJ Hill. And then the big one that we picked up is Mike Pennell from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, who cares? This old, he's been balling. He's doing what we want him to do. I think our linebacker play with Logan Wilson and guys behind it has looked like pretty average at best to me. And the cornerback play is like here and there, whatever. But up front is the one area I think that they've improved. And I think that might look a little bit better.
Yeah, man. Well, when I was looking at some advanced analytics, your team lets up the most like mid crossing route, kind of middle of the field stuff, like you said about the linebacker play. And that's the one area Bo Nix hasn't been able to get cooking this year. So if for any week, it needs to be now. And maybe that's an example of you having a weakness that we don't know how to capitalize on. Okay,
I'm pretty sure Sean Payton will be able to check that out and say, whatever. I thought the Bengals adjusted. Now, week 1, they killed us on crossers. And I think the adjustment to it is to have your weak side safeties. So the strong side of the play is developing and everybody's going to go eat the cheese, so to speak. And then teams are just capitalizing like Joe Flacco was on the crossing route going to the weak side of it. I did think this past week, like if you really go watch a Carson Wentz he didn't look good to me. I know that sounds crazy, you're losing 30-something points, but he really didn't. The first drive was penalties to get down the field, and then a lot of that is 31 points off of turnovers. I don't really think he's that good, honestly. But the adjustment that they did was that mid-range crossers and all that, and I think that that's the one thing that they did a little bit better, because the first 2 weeks, yeah, you're right, it's probably the worst in football.
Ooh, the season is already flying by. Every tackle, every interception, every touchdown, we're there for all of it. And you know what is awesome is that the presenting sponsor of today's video can get us even closer to the action. We're, of course, talking about the official sports betting partner of the NFL. We are talking about DraftKings. They put you right in the middle of the action. You can follow along with live in-game betting. You can build a same-game parlay for an even bigger shot at a big payout. The next great touchdown is happening, and trust me, you're going to want to be on DraftKings for it. And right now, they have an incredible deal for new customers. New customers who sign up using my promo code can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. It's that simple. Head over to your favorite app store, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, enter my promo code STDenver for a $5 bet with $200 in bonus bets instantly. So what are you waiting for? Head over to the App Store, get DraftKings. It's going to be an awesome season. You're going to want to be there for it. And remember, always game responsibly. So then offensively, going into this, everyone was like hyping up Browning. Like what had he done in the past? And I guess what are your hopes for him this week? Is he going to be able to get Higgins and Jamar Chase the ball? Or do you think you've kind of seen all you can see and you kind of want to go get Russell Wilson or something?
I hate Russell Wilson. I want Jameis Winston. You know those Russell Wilson, those little moon balls that he throws though?
Yeah. Dude.
That would be fun as hell with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
It would.
Like if you just throw that up, I would live with that. I know that's 24 points, just that with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. But Browning, like I said, it's a little misleading. I thought he messed up on a lot of the easy layup stuff, like the little wide receiver screens were a little bit off. Like I'm used to watching football from Burrow, right? So he doesn't throw checkdowns and he doesn't throw screens at all. Like none. He's the least in the National Football League. So contrary to people's belief, like he does not throw checkdowns or any of that. But when he does, he only throws them so far in front of the guy that he always gives somebody a chance to run. I thought Browning was terrible at that last week. I thought the little pick-me-ups and then the signs of blitzing, and I got a hot over here on the left, Gesicki wide open, guys playing off like easily, just go to that guy. He's not making the easy decisions. And then he's relying on Jamar Chase in these bad spots. Like, I want to walk out of every game with 10-plus targets from Jamar Chase. I think not only is he the best wide receiver in football, I think he's the best player in football. Like, I really do. But when you get into a matchup where you got a guy like Surtain or whatever, I just use him as a D. Well, that's what Burrow would do. Burrow just uses that to take Surtain or somebody of that caliber, just take them out to play.
And then Higgins just feasted on Riley Moss last year. Yeah.
That's how when we go play anybody that there's only like 3-4 of those guys in the league. He does that every time. Jamar Chase, he'd be like, take this week off. We're just going to run you all over the field and take their best player with you. We're going to put T. Higgins and Gesicki and Fant and Chase Brown. I don't know if Browning's smart enough to do that. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know. In 2023, it's different. I feel like he has more weapons now, but he's not. He capitalized on it on the Jags game. I saw, I was there, and he goes 10 for 10, 95 yards down the field, game-winning drive. That was just 2 weeks ago. So I know he's got it in him. I want to see the Bengals do to adjust to it. I think they got to go quick game. Don't allow Denver's defense to change up pre-snap, because when they were doing that with the Vikings, it totally cooked Browning. Like, he didn't know what to do. But when he gets into a rhythm, He's actually pretty accurate. He's also a little bit faster than Burrow. He can run. He can run if he wants to. And I think he needs to get into that a little bit for them to have a chance. And at the very least, they need to flip the field. And I know it sounds crazy, but rely on the defense for a defense that isn't really that great, right? But the defense, like, quietly has looked way better than last year.
Yeah, man, that surprised me. Yeah, watching some other other than last week, obviously. But so I was listening to a national podcast that said like Zach Taylor was going to actually be excited to be able to call the offense that he wanted with Browning. Is the offense, does it look different? Like, is he lining up under center more than Burrow did? And
yeah, he is. And from our fan base, we want that. I think that protects the quarterback. I think it puts you in a position to just do more, at least bring the safety down into the box, right? I go under center. It's different than a shotgun look. If you get on a football field, like, people know what I'm talking about. Like, if you're playing from that vantage point and a guy's going under center, you don't have the same time to react to a guy in shotgun, even if it's a shotgun play action. Like, you just don't. And so bringing that safety down in the box for a team with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, that's what you want. We don't ever get that look. Nobody ever plays those guys one-on-one every week. So we want that. But at the same time, it's just so weird watching Browning, like, in the Jags game versus last week. Last week, he wasn't taking advantage of anything that pre-snap I saw. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's an easy 6 yards right there. Just take it. He wasn't taking that. So I'm hoping that they adjust. I was doing a film review with a guy, I forgot his name, but I was on some show. We were rewatching some of the stuff. The craziest thing is, because the Bengals were trying to make it easier on them, they switched to a wide zone blocking scheme, something that they never do. And as a result, I thought it confused the offensive lineman, and you had them going all, and that's why the run game looks so bad. I hope they just go back and just say, look, bro, we're just going to do our natural gap scheme. We're going to help out our pedestrian run blockers and run duo, run double teams, and hit guys, and then do that. Go give me 4 yards. That's all I need. If they just simplify that, I think they'll be okay, and this game won't be a blowout in the Broncos' favor. Yeah, but if they start getting tricky, it's not going to work.
Yeah, Sean Payton wanted to implement zone scheme this year, and we worked on it all preseason, all OTAs, all training camp, and it's still like the guys talk about, hey, we're still figuring this thing out. So there's no way you can change that in a week. So hopefully that's adjustment for y'all. Give me your score prediction.
I just came from a show and I just said this. I got the Broncos in this one, bro.
Dude, I watch all your guys' roundtable. You drink the Kool-Aid. You never pick against the Bengals. So this
really
is good. Yeah.
Last year I picked against them a couple times.
You didn't for the Broncos game last year, but I guess they won last year. So I
mean, I had Burrow.
Yeah. So
yeah, true. Like I mean, if you get a John Elway, a Burrow, a Peyton Manning, this is what it looks like. True, like man. It's a superpower. Like there's no game I don't think I'm gonna win with those guys, right? Now it's not the same. Like this is I've said this for years on whatever. These teams that walk around here like they have a shot at a Super Bowl in the 2020s, and no, if you don't have one of those guys and that guy isn't performing at an absurd level, no, it's not possible. And I'm living proof of it. And when you don't, we're just like a lot of other teams. I think that the Broncos have a better defense. And this is the one game I didn't want. I think the resentment from losing the game from last year, I listened to a lot of Nick Bonito after that game, him being frustrated about it. I'm pretty sure what's his name that we cooked up and we grilled his ass. Yep. Yeah, I think he wants some get back. So you got a lot of different storylines going on that I think work in their favor. Then a part of me does say, F it. I do think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are, but I think that's what makes it close. I know that they're so competitive that they're not going to go out like they did last week. Like it's not going to be like that. But I just think that the Bengals have a habit of making quarterbacks that I don't truly think are the greatest. They have a habit of making those guys look really good. Like even the Bo Nix throw like late in that game, and like that's absurd. Like
sick, man.
Like that, those throws, Bengals give quarterback like guys that I've never heard of, Mike White to the world, they give those to guys all the time. Like that's part of me being a Bengals fan. But the difference is I always had Joe Burrow to be like, yeah, well, you like that? I got something else for you. So I don't have that. So that's the difference.
All right. Well, I'm taking the Broncos too, man. And if I hope you lose this week, then I hope you make the playoffs and that one of us gets to knock the Chiefs out, man.
If I go to the playoffs and I get Burrow back with a couple of weeks left in the season, which they're saying is possible, then I'll come back on and I'll tell you that no way in hell you'll beat me. But for now, I got Broncos.
All right, we'll definitely plug all your stuff. Plug your channel so all these viewers can go and watch what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm Zim, Zim Who Dey on Twitter, Zim and then Who Dey on Twitter. Also Zim_Who Dey Instagram. For Bengals merch, I sell a bunch of stuff at zimwhodey.com. Also do a show called Cincinnati Pod. It's like Cincinnati, except you put a W in front of it, and I do that with my partner Ace.
That's sick, man. Link in the description. Go check it out, man. And what's Who Dey mean? I don't get it. Like, why do they say that?
It's just something that was started a long time ago. And it's just something that they chant, and we got our own fight songs, and who they think they're gonna beat them Bengals is come off of it. Like, it's just something that was started a long time ago. People argue who started first, Saints or Bengals, or because they got who that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't care. I'm just Mr. Who Dey, and I like Who Dey.
Who Dey, I like it. Well, here we believe, baby.
Who Dey.